Have you ever noticed how some people adopt new technologies sooner than others? In 1962, Professor Rogers explained this with a theory he called the diffusion of innovations. He found that individuals fall into one of 5 different adopter groups, based on how quickly they adopt a new innovation, like Bitcoin. Which group do you fall into? The innovators are a small, important group, highly technically oriented. They are adventurous and like being on the cutting edge, and are not afraid to take risks. They are often the first to learn about and adopt a new innovation. The innovators not only create, but also introduce the technology, like Bitcoin, to the next very important group, the early adopters, or visionaries. The early adopters, even though less than 14% of a population, are often visionaries and forward thinkers who are highly respected as opinion leaders and play a key role in what we call crossing the chasm and spreading the ideas to the mainstream. Platforms like YouTube, Amazon, Airbnb crossed the chasm and became adopted by the mainstream because of the dedication of the innovators and early adopters who shared their experiences with their friends and communities. With Bitcoin, it is much the same. The innovators and early adopters are responsible for bringing the technology to the masses, and as a reward, these innovators and early adopters often become extremely wealthy because of their curiosity and dedication to bringing new innovations to the masses. The early adopters tough it out through the bumps and the glitches and see a day when everyone is using the technology like Bitcoin will. Once a new innovation like Bitcoin has leapt the chasm from the early adopters to the mass market, the early opportunities for massive gains have dried up, and the early majority tends to adopt the technology because it is safe and it feels like everyone else is starting to use it. As this happens, and it will with Bitcoin, widespread acceptance begins. The latter half of the majority, the late majority, are more resistant to change, but seem to be responsive to peer pressure, and before they adopt a new innovation like Bitcoin, they want it to be well tested and widely used. At the end of the adoption curve are a group of people Rogers calls laggards. They tend to be highly resistant to change. Laggards tend to wait until they can't use the old ways anymore before they begrudgingly adopt the new innovation, which by then is not a new innovation anymore. Today, Bitcoin is still in the group of innovators and early adopters, and a platform like GCCF is most likely to appeal to them. The opportunity to become extremely wealthy still exists if you adopt this innovation now and share it with others. Where on the curve do you want to be?